the West Coast. You know, the part of America that keeps Nevada from getting wet. Extreme wildfires have been devastating the region for over a week now. And as if the natural disaster isn't bad enough, it's being made worse by some serious human stupidity.
Raging wildfires in California, Oregon, and Washington state are burning out of control at this hour. At least 35 people have died. Officials describe conditions as, quote, apocalyptic.
As if the fatal massive wildfires weren't enough to contend with, well, now officials in Oregon are having to plead with residents to ignore a QAnon conspiracy theory that is quickly spreading online. The false claim says Antifa is to blame for starting the fires.
A Clackamas County Sheriff's deputy has been placed on leave after a video went viral of him falsely claiming that anti-fascists started fires in Oregon.
Antifa okay,
right,
are out causing hell. Right. And there's a lot of lives at stake, and there's a lot of people's property at stake because these guys got some vendetta.
Yeah, not only do officials have to deal with wildfires, they also have to deal with the only thing that spreads faster than wildfires: internet conspiracy theories. Which, let's be honest, are the worst, because at least fires eventually get put out. Internet conspiracy theories, man, they're harder to get rid of than those microchips that the government put in our brains using fluoride and Impossible Burgers. It's true. Look it up. The only way we're going to get rid of conspiracy theories is if we take away our uncle's Facebook. And good luck with that. Because you try and take Facebook away from old people, they turn into Gollum from Lord of the Rings. My frenzies. And you know what really doesn't help in this situation? Is that while the sheriff's department is saying, don't believe the conspiracy theories, one of the sheriff's deputies is spreading the conspiracy theory. It's like if you saw Smokey Bear running around with a flamethrower. Well, now I don't know what to think. Now, since these fires are so big, California once again has been forced to rely on inmates to help fight the fires. And because these human beings are risking their lives to save others, the governor has finally decided to pay them back.
Well, some inmate firefighters who are working the front lines on our California wildfires now have a chance to capitalize on that experience after they're released from custody.
Governor Gavin Newsom signing into law what will give some inmates a shot at careers in firefighting after completing their sentences.
Thousands of prisoners that are on the front lines, that are near the end of their time in prison, that are getting credits and want the opportunity because of the training they're receiving. This bill that I'm about to sign will give those prisoners hope of actually getting a job in the profession that they've been trained.
Yeah, for years. Even though prisoners fought wildfires while incarcerated, they weren't allowed to become professional firefighters once they were released. And that was all because of their felony convictions. And honestly, I think this is a great step in the right direction because America keeps telling people to take what they've learned in prison and use it to get back in society. If you learned how to fight fires in prison, you should be allowed to become a firefighter when you come out, right? If you've learned how to cook, you should be able to work in a restaurant when you come out. Even if you spend all your time in prison just learning how to do more crime, when you get out, you should be allowed to get a job in the Trump campaign. And you know, I'm not surprised that prisoners actually make really good firefighters. Because they don't mess around, man. On the first day, they walk up to the biggest fire and they put it out. And all the smaller fires know that they mean business. That's how it works, right? That's how you fight fires. I wish there was someone here. But let's move on now to Florida, the state that's been doing the post-apocalypse thing for decades now. It may be hard to imagine, but there was a time in America when some people thought the biggest problem in the country was young black men with sagging pants.
Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Ah. Simpler times. But now, one city that had cracked down on this menace to society is having second thoughts.
We begin with a city in Florida dropping its ban on saggy pants.
For 13 years, anyone in Opelika who was wearing pants that exposed their undergarments could be cited, but the city commission has now voted to overturn that controversial ordinance.
Critics say the ban imposed overly harsh penalties and disproportionately affected young black men.
That's right. A city in Florida has finally overturned a ridiculous law that banned people from wearing saggy pants. And I could not be happier. For two reasons. One, the shit was obviously targeted at young black men. And two, it made it impossible to be a plumber in that town. Have you ever seen a plumber with his pants up? Still no one here? I'm gonna keep on trying. But seriously though, I'm glad that this law is gone because This basically made it illegal for black men to dress the way they wanted, or white kids to dress like black men dress like the way that they wanted. Can you imagine if a city did the same thing, but only to white people? Imagine if a leader came out like, from now on, no wraparound Oakley sunglasses. If you ain't playing beach volleyball or stopping lasers from shooting out of your eyes, you take that shit off your face. Nobody needs sunglasses on the side of their face. What, the sun coming at you from the side? Huh? Another reason I'm glad this law is gone is because this is another responsibility that cops just shouldn't have, right? Telling someone to pull up their pants is another job that police do not need to have. This is a job for grandmothers. I mean, they might as well make it illegal to look too skinny because you're not eating enough. Or have cops pulling people over because they have schmutz on their face. Sir, I'm gonna need you to hold still. Hold still, sir. Hold still so hold still. I just want people to see how beautiful you are. There you go. And finally, if you're like me and you still haven't gotten your post-quarantine haircuts, you might want to save the trimmings when you do, because in 150 years, they could make you a lot of money.
Some of Abraham Lincoln's hair has raised a whole lot of cash. 2 inches of the 16th president's locks took in more than $81,000 at a weekend auction. They were taken after Mr. Lincoln was assassinated in 1865. The hair came with a telegram about his death.
Okay, first of all, what sick bastard saw the president get shot, ran up to him and was like, quick, send help! But first, does anyone have some of those little tiny scissors? I want to remember this day. That shit's creepy. They didn't even have eBay back then. What were you holding it for? But guys, this is amazing. If we have Abraham Lincoln's hair, you know what that means? It means we can Jurassic Park Abraham Lincoln. Okay, that's not what I meant. You know what? Forget it. Just kill both of them. And by the way, if you ever wanted to see the difference between white people and black people, this is it. I took $81,000 and I bought a lock of Abraham Lincoln's hair. Shit, I took $81,000 and I bought a Lincoln. Oh, can I get a ride? Oh, hell no. Trying to ride in my car, gonna get hair all over the place. Cops gonna pull me over, be like, who this dead man's hair? I'm gonna be like, I don't even know who this is. They're gonna be like, why you gave him a ride? I'm gonna be like, yo, he was just in the same joke as me. I don't even know this dude. And I'm just gonna say this, I really hope that that actually is Abraham Lincoln's hair. Because, like, how do we know? Look at that thing. It looks like someone wrapped twine around some hay. This could be the history nerds equivalent of selling oregano as weed. And just so you know, people, you can't make money from every president's hair, okay? That's not how it works. For instance, if you get Trump's hair, you actually go bankrupt. Why? In fact, getting Donald Trump's hair at an auction 200 years from now just sounds like the premise to a really strange horror movie. Oh my God, I can't believe I got President Trump's hair from 200 years ago. This is, wait, is it moving? Did something, I know, Hillary Clinton and the deep state coronavirus, all the same. It's fake, so fake.